Hey all, here are OS Reviews. Today we're taking a quick look at the Neporal emergency light bulbs. In the past, we checked out a number of smart lighting products, whether it's connected to Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, allowing you to control it from a companion app, or having just a quirky design. Well, today's product is a lot more utilitarian in a way. It's quite simple in that it just allows the light to remain lit even if there is a power outage. The magic here is that there is a rechargeable battery inside of each of these bulbs, which once you have plugged in, will always be ready to go, and when there is an actual outage, allows them to stay lit for around 4 to 6 hours. Apparently this product has been available for a couple of years now, but I wasn't aware, so wanted to also make this video to inform a wider community. Otherwise, they are LED bulbs, so they should be pretty energy efficient, rated to last upwards of 27 years with 3 hours of usage daily. There's 12 watts and 15 watt versions, which will differ in terms of brightness. The 15 watt is the brightest one that gets up to 750 lumens. One thing to keep in mind though is once you are using it in the battery mode, the brightness will be roughly halved. In terms of pricing, around 30 to 35 bucks for a pack of 4 or 6. What I will say is maybe in the future they can also consider adding some additional features like changing the color temperature from warmer to cooler, maybe having some type of app control could all be nice secondary features. All of these packages do come with a optional clip which you can add a on and off button onto the bulbs and detach it from the base and use it like a mini flashlight. I will also mention that if you have it plugged into a light and you unplug the actual light from the wall, don't expect it to continue to turn on unless the lamp forms a true closed circuit. Now that might seem a little bit strange at first, but the reason is because if you are just using it in the regular day-to-day and you actually want to turn the light off, for example you're going to sleep, it would be annoying if the light would automatically turn on consistently until the batteries ran out. So it has that intelligent function to detect basically if you actually are using it in a power outage situation or not. Otherwise, it has again a 1200 milliamp hour capacity battery that is inside these bulbs. So opening this up, we have access to just a quick user guide, and then of course the bulbs themselves. We'll take a look at one here as an example. It's also protected with this plastic cap. Underneath the lights, there are going to be the aforementioned optional hooks for hanging it up and also creating that closed circuit, which simulates a power outage. Bulb itself is constructed out of a mostly polycarbonate plastic finish, and everything feels reasonable enough in terms of the build. And then we can just, for example, screw it onto the hook here, and you can see it just turns on, or we can tap on it again to turn it off. All the bulbs out of the box, by the way, are also pre-charged, because again, the lights themselves can't change in terms of color or temperature, they are preset. So this one by default is 6500K, this one is 6000, so slightly warmer versus slightly cooler, and has the same build. This one has a little bit more of a texture though to the plastic there. The smallest bulb though will have the also shortest battery when you're using it in the rechargeable mode, so getting upwards of 4 hours versus 5 to 6 on the larger versions. So here's a final side-by-side view of how the three sizes there will differ next to one another, but again having the same basic functionality. So there we go. It fits in snugly just like a standard light bulb, and then flicking it on, of course it would turn on as you would expect. Turning it back off again, the lights will again remain off. During this entire time though, as long as you're plugged into the wall, it will be charging the battery inside to prepare when there is an actual outage. And a final demo here, again in a flashlight mode with all the other lights dimmed in this room, you can tell that it's going to be more than usable when it comes to reading back some quick notes, things like that. So not bad at all, even though the brightness is slightly lowered compared to the plugged-in mode. Also means the battery again will last longer, and more importantly, it remains relatively cool during operation because it is just LEDs, so you can still hold it and doesn't get too hot on your hands either, which is good. However, still keep in mind that it's not going to be as rugged as, say, a tactical flashlight, which maybe is shock-proof or waterproof. This obviously still has some of the parts revealed, so as long as you're using it in kind of a regular way and not abusing it or dropping it, it should be fine. So there we have it. That's just a quick look at the Neporal rechargeable emergency LED light bulbs. Regular bulbs that have a battery built on in for use when, again, the power goes out. I think it's a pretty cool idea, and overall may not be the most sophisticated thing in the world, but I still think it could be a very practical one nonetheless. You can check out additional details if interested in the links down below, but for now that's been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.